But if you go back to the genesis of this organization, and just who we are as a culture, being who we are, which you could call us what, pan-Lutheran or whatever, it, it it just fits well with us and has given us lots of opportunity, not to turn our back on any particular denomination, but it's given us opportunity and created a culture where I think we're able to have this conversation that we're having and share the good news that we share. And somehow in our bones, we know how to do it so that it's not just insular in this synod or to this church or to these people. We have a broad audience. And when I say broad audience, it is an amazing broad audience. We have Pentecostal, Baptist, Anglican, Episcopalian, Methodist friends, people who listen to it, donors, even, I can say that. When I talk with them, many of them, and I don't know if your listeners will like this or not, but they talk Lutheran a little bit. They're picking up things like law and gospel, God's two words, you know. They cling, many of them, to the assurance of faith. And why do we have such assurance? Um, it's not because of the grasp I have on God. I mean, I hope I do cling to Him, but our assurance comes from Him clinging to us through His Son and His gifts, and that's not always emphasized in all other church bodies. And I'm a part of an organization that speaks well, and like you said, is passionate about helping, sure, be Lutheran and feeding Lutherans, sure, but also doing it in a way that more people than just Lutherans hear it. And that's a real joy, Jared. So let me say this because your hearers might not know this. What is our mission? Our mission is this. Our mission is to declare and defend the good news that you are forgiven and free on account of Christ alone. That's our mission. Our growing passion is to be found as a friend to the church, her pastors, her ministers, and her people, which is why it's so fun to hear that your church used, for instance, the Advent series. And hopefully we'll have another banger this year that you'll be excited to use. But yeah, that's our mission, to declare and defend the good news that you're forgiven and free on account of Christ alone. That's a 1 Corinthians 15 mission, is what I'd say to your church. Paul says this at the beginning of 1 Corinthians 15. He says, I delivered and continue to that which is of first importance, right? And he goes on to the death and resurrection of Christ Jesus for sinners, for their justification and their sanctification.